What's up, everybody? It's good to be home. I'm your host, Jimmy Grappone, with our co-host,
Michael Curtis.
What's
good
up,
to see you, buddy?
Yeah, good to see you. Good to be on the airwaves and the video waves and however you're consuming us today. That didn't sound right, did it? Especially
through the magic of Christmas.
Yeah.
If you're joining us on the holidays.
However that may be. So. Yeah, so we're it's December, we're right in the midst of the holidays. I think Hanukkah's in the beginning of December. So as we're
Diwali's in here somewhere.
Yeah.
As well. Obviously Christmas.
It's
yeah. Big in our area.
Yeah. So so today's episode we want to talk about home safety, protecting your number one investment, and we're taking a few different creative spins on protecting your home. So we're going to talk about, just to set you up so you know to stick around and listen to the whole show. We're going to talk physical safety, so the physical safety of your home. A lot of people are decorating right now, things like that. We're going to talk about protecting your number one investment from a financial perspective. And then we're going to talk about your home. Your body is your temple, right?
That's right.
And your mind is the engine that makes it run, or something like that.
I'm a classic model.
Dad bod. We got dad bods.
I might be a Buick, not a Tesla.
There you go. Yeah. So we want to talk self-care a little bit, and that's important this time of year, around the holidays especially.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
For several reasons. I mean, one, we're going to more parties. We're probably eating and drinking more than we normally do.
Routine's different, right?
Routines change, yeah.
We're used to a certain rhythm of life. You got kids, you got drop off, you've got spousal responsibilities and family responsibilities, and then you mix in the holidays, right?
Yeah.
And
it's a lot more stress around the holidays.
Yeah,
when you're a kid, you don't notice it. When you're a kid, it's just all fun and games.
Yeah.
As you become older and you have more responsibilities. Whether you have children or significant others that you're buying gifts for people, so you have that. You might have the financial stress of spending more money.
Find yourself almost midnight on Christmas Eve trying to put a tricycle together and bleeding. I've been there.
And bleeding, okay. The one that Santa Claus dropped off
That's
before,
right?
Okay. All right, so let's hop into it. So we'll come back to that topic, but let's start off and really dive in first, talking about the physical safety of your home. So decorations, electrical, things like that. So are you a big home decorator?
So yeah, we are. Obviously we're in the midst of it. We've got everything pulled out now. We've got the tree. We've got the lights. Something that we did last year, not this year, but I guess this year would count as well. But last year we got a new, we don't do the new trees, not yet anyway. We got really little kids. We figured we'll do the fabricated trees, I guess.
That's what we have, yeah.
But we got a new one last year, and those are really nice. We had the one that was like 10 plus years old. Before that was the one with all the wires and the little green things, and had the lights and everything, the old lights, the old incandescent lights. But we upgraded, and man, it made such a difference. It was a pre-lit tree. This year we're updating a lot of the lights outside the house as well, and decorations, and I'm finding it's been a big improvement over the old stuff. What about you guys? Yeah,
we decorate. So we have our 2-year-old. So last year he was walking. So last year we have a room in the front of the house that's used to be our formal dining room, and now it's our son's playroom.
That's the playroom now.
And last year we put our tree there. It was in the front of the house in that same room, but we had sort of like a little plastic corral that he played in because it wasn't big enough to run all over the house. So now that's just wide open. There's the only borders are the gate at the bottom of the steps. So we moved it back to our traditional spot, which is in the main family room, main living area.
Nice.
And so we put the tree up, and we have one of those where the lights are already on. It makes it so much easier. And you just put some decorations. And we thought he was going to go over and just want to rip off all the decorations. So he's been really good about that after the first day or two. So that's been good. So we do some
here's
interior.
An idea. I mean, we both have little kids.
Yeah.
Something that we did is we actually, a lot of our old like porcelain and glass and fragile ornaments we don't put up anymore. Or we put them up high. Although the drawback to put them high is then they start shaking the tree. So you pick your poison.
He doesn't figure that out.
However, what we did is we got a lot of. My wife, she found a lot of the nice like fabric ornaments. There's really nice ones that don't have sharp pointy edges, and we just put them over the tree. And so the kids would take them off and put them back on. We have a nice little people type nativity scene underneath the tree. They can play with that.
Yeah.
So the Christmas Village, like that Thomas Kincaid style Christmas Village, that's not going to be coming out until they're like teenagers.
Yeah. So actually we have a fabric tree as well. It's a felt tree that you can hang.
Yeah.
And has little Velcro ornaments, so he can take those off and put them on. So he has his own tree there. But yeah, getting to the outside decorations. So I love outside Christmas ornaments, and each year I've added a little bit more. And I want to ask you, you said you upgraded lights. Did you buy your stuff during like the spring and summer, or have you just recently bought stuff?
The tree we actually got after Christmas.
That's the best time to buy ornaments, is after.
Yeah, you get all the special deals and everything. And so that's been good. What we do need to do is update the outside. And so the outside of the house, we still got the old stuff going on. Don't mind the technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Jimmy's doing his thing.
If you're watching, you might see a little something, but that's all right.
It's okay.
It's all good.
Yeah, Jimmy's just working his technical magic right now.
Exactly.
So for us, we're looking at that. One thing I was looking at and reading about, and bring it back to safety, we think about protecting our number one asset is fires.
Yeah.
And so fires in the home really start to spike in December because of real trees. So Christmas tree fires are a major issue. Those old lights, those old incandescent bulb type lights as well, and we still have those old ones. So this year we didn't put them up, but my wife, she has us updating them to the LEDs, I'm assuming, and they're like better quality and safety as well.
Well, one thing too, if you have a real tree, we had a real tree growing up as a kid, and we had pets, so when we always had dogs, but then when we got a cat, the cat would go underneath and when it drank the water, because you have to keep keep water in there to keep the tree from drying out. So are more fires caused by inside the home or outside the home?
That's a good question. So to my understanding, more fires start in the home. You think about not only just the Christmas side, but space heaters obviously have always been an issue. Fireplaces are on more often, and if they've not been serviced in a while, there might be some type of blockage or etc. That can start an issue as well. And then there's just those pesky Christmas lights. A lot of those are hazards. They've been sitting in the attic for 7, 8, 10 years, being pulled out and being damaged every time they angrily thrown up on a tree or on a house and then ripped back down again. So a lot of those fires do come out inside the house versus outside the house.
Well, you mentioned space heaters as well, and so I was speaking recently to the fire chief in Waxhaw. So he came to one of the business association meetings, and he was out there, and he was asking the question about using a space heater, because sometimes you have that room that just doesn't quite get as much heat. So it's the drafty room. It might be the room over the garage, or it might be the room that's has the furthest run from from the furnace up in your attic. The ductwork is the furthest away. So I asked the question, if you have that one room that's just hard to control the temperature and get it as warm, what about putting a space heater in there? And no, not want you to do that. And one of the reasons, he said the main, obviously, it could tip over, but the main reason is the wiring. So plugging them into, into an outlet that doesn't have, and I'm going to sound
We're not
amateur. I'm not an electrician, so
Realtor and Lander here.
Yeah. So we know enough to be dangerous.
That's right.
But basically, plugging it into an outlet that's not properly rated. I think I said that pretty well.
Yeah,
it's not properly rated for that. Yeah. I mean, maybe one of these things right here. I think this is just putting off.
This is considered low voltage.
Yeah, low voltage and just putting off low heat. We can crank the heat up.
That's right.
Oh, we got some heat going now.
I feel it. We feel it now.
So, but yeah, doing that, plugging stuff into outlets that can't handle whatever you're trying to do. Those can cause fires too.
It's happened to me. It was actually at work. We Had a lot of people that bring in space heaters that get cold in the office. This is years ago when I was a loan processor, and we were sitting there, and somebody was like, "Something's burning. Somebody burning something in the break room," and it was in the break room. It was somebody had stepped away from their desk, left their space heater on, and it was hooked to. It was hooked to one of those. What am I trying to say? You know the. Gosh, I can't think of the word. It's got lots of.
The surge protectors.
Surge protector type things, and so she had plugged it in there, and that whole thing was just sparking and smoking and black. Like
that's where I would have plugged it in.
You'd think it would be good, but it was going. So after that, obviously they were banned from the office.
Yeah. So what can people do to be more safe? I guess they can try not to use space heaters in the house, and if you do, make sure it's hooked up properly.
Yeah.
Another one is to upgrade your lights.
Yeah, check all your old ornaments and lights. Think about safety for kids and animals as well with the sharp ornaments, right?
Yeah,
we talked about it earlier.
It's not just fire, but glass ornaments.
Yeah, so that can cause people to get hurt. But yeah, updating the lights is a big one, I feel like.
Another thing too, you always hear you're supposed to change your smoke and fire detectors at the start of the year, and that's sort of a way just to remember. What if you did that at the start of the holiday season even?
It's a good idea. You think about filters, think about smoke detectors. It's already a new season. You're already doing things differently.
Right.
So kind of set yourself reminders to maybe do that as well. If you're already got the ladder up to start putting up decorations,
that's a very good point.
Have it, you pull it around the house and get those fire detectors updated as well.
Well, and that reminded me of one other thing. I'm glad you mentioned ladders. If you're getting up on ladders, be very careful. You see people getting up 2 stories, but even on a 6-foot ladder. I had a friend a few years ago who fell off a 6-foot ladder while putting up decorations and broke his leg. I ran into him at the grocery store. I was like, "What happened to you?" He's like, "Yeah, I fell off a ladder," and he looked like he got in a fight with Mike Tyson.
Yeah, it's back injuries, arms and legs. It's that stuff will stay with you for years and years.
Yeah.
So it's important. And then finally, one thing to keep in mind, and this might be a good present for your parents if you think about it, because there's lots of them out there. Thinking about like those Ring doorbells, those blinks, things like that. Because unfortunately, this time of year break-ins are more often. We have a rise in break-ins, porch bandits as well. And so having
got Amazon packages sitting on the front porch.
Yeah, lots of Amazon packages are getting scooped up. So think about something to maybe check. It's a good time to recheck any type of security measures you might have. If you have like a security system, maybe double check what that looks like. Because how often do you check that? And then if there is none, there's so many different systems. I know I got one that Jenica had found, and we put them all around the house. These different cameras and like blinks and all this stuff. Wow. So yeah,
Fort Knox. Don't try to break into Michael Curtis' house.
That's right. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. All right, well, let's take a quick break, little sponsor break, and then we'll be right back on the other side. All right, well, welcome back from that break there. So, all right, so we want to talk about the other thing we mentioned. So, holiday hangovers, protecting your number one investment from a financial standpoint. And then at the end of the show, we'll talk about some self-care stuff. But let's talk about avoiding that holiday hangover. So people, you feel a lot of pressure this time of year to buy gifts for your significant others. And this could be whether you're buying a home or not. So let's talk about it from both standpoints.
Well, yeah, you know me. So for me, I'm very passionate about real estate, just like you are. I also teach personal finance.
Okay,
I find that people this time of year, you can get into that fog and just get really reactionary. Next thing you know, you're just charging up the credit card, right? I can catch myself like, oh my gosh, we got to get a present for Bobby Sue. We got to get a present for little Joey. And it just turns into this big thing. But if we're just intentional, if you just budget correctly, you think intentionally about it, you can avoid that holiday hangover, as we're calling it. You want to just not dig yourself a hole so that, you spend the next 3 or 4 months of the new year trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
You want to set yourself up for success. Think about, whatever those financial goals might be that you have for next year, and start changing a mindset now. Like, you know what? I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to start overeating. We're talking about self-care.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
And just start preparing yourself now.
This is the time. This is the time to go on a diet. Well, maybe not a diet.
Well, I wouldn't say diet.
It's a good time to be mindful of what you're eating. It's also a good time to be mindful of what you're spending, so you don't get yourself in trouble.
Well, you think about this, like if you have a goal to buy a house next year, or sell a house and buy a new house, or get out of debt, pay off student loans, or pay off debt of some kind, or build up savings, the last thing you want to do is be charging up credit cards and overspending. So be really mindful of that so you don't get stuck in that fog. It truly is a fog that you can get wrapped up into.
Yeah, and a big thing that you guys look at is debt to income ratio. So if you rack up a lot of debt, and we always tell people, if you're in the process of buying a home, between the time you go under contract or get pre-approved and the time you close, don't go out buying a brand new car. Don't add a bunch of charges and things like that.
Exactly. This is not the time to be opening up a credit card because a sales rep tells you can get 10% off of your purchase if you sign up.
But Michael, I'm saving 10%.
Yeah, but you're also setting yourself up for failure with your purchase of your home if you're trying to buy a house.
Because I'm buying a brand new TV. I'm getting $200 off this $2,000 TV. I'm not supposed to do that.
Can it wait until after you close in your house?
You can't. It can't. The TV can wait until Super Bowl Sunday.
That's right.
Super Bowl Saturday.
Will always be there.
That's when you get the best deals on TVs.
That's exactly right.
Because that's a television. So you're and people detect your accent a little bit. I know you're from South Africa. You're a rugby guy.
I am.
Coming around. You've been here long enough to come around the football, but what about the other football going on?
Oh yeah.
Watching the World Cup at all?
I have been watching the World Cup. It's been exciting. It is different though, watching FIFA, watching the World Cup at Christmas time, because usually it's in the summertime. And so I felt kind of weird.
The Winter World Cup, they're calling it.
The Winter World Cup, exactly. And so, strangely, I've actually been to Qatar as well. And so it's just bizarre to think about this happening in Qatar. It's just wild to me all the way around. But it's exciting. I enjoy watching it. You been checking it out? Yeah,
I have been watching. Yeah, I kept track of USA and was pulling for them. And that was a rough loss. They conceded some tough goals, some lazy defense. They conceded some very clean goals. All three shots were it was like one touch, one shot, and it was just a clear shot that went in. They missed some opportunities really early on.
Yeah, the Flying Dutchmen are good. So I'm not surprised.
I didn't expected us to not win that one.
Yeah, and I was ashamed to see that, like you're saying, some of those guys were pretty much wide open.
Yeah.
So there's a failure of coverage there. The way I look at the U.S. team right now is that they're young. Yeah. They're really young, a lot of raw talent. I would hope that a lot of these guys can gel together over the next 3 to 4 years, get through some, regional tournaments around here in the U.S. as well. I forget what it's called, like the CONCACAF.
Yeah, CONCACAF,
get some, maybe shoot for some of those, some titles over there, and then come back with a little bit of experience, a little bit more wisdom. We all remember being early 20s.
Yeah.
Your brain's a little bit mush then anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to continuing to watch and seeing like Brazil and
progresses
and Argentina with Lionel Messi. There's some great teams and some great players. Out there.
Absolutely. I think with my ancestry, I always kind of like halfway root for England. I want to see them do well because obviously it's the birthplace of football or soccer, whatever you want to call it. But I know they always kind of get bounced out, through the tournament. So we'll see. We'll see how they do as well.
We'll see how that goes. Cool. Yeah. So we want to avoid that holiday hangover, and we're not talking about the kind that's caused by drinking too much eggnog.
Which that can also be one.
That's okay. So if we're talking about self-care, maybe that's the type of hangover.
Yeah.
We want to avoid, and everything is good or fine.
Yeah.
In moderation. Not everything. Crack cocaine's not good in moderation. Did I just say that?
Yeah.
I did. But good food, tasty food, drinks. If you enjoy partaking a little bit, I think as long as you're not going overboard with it, if you are, make sure you're not getting behind the wheel of a car, right?
Yeah, absolutely. This time, actually, DUIs are up this time of year as well because of Christmas parties and people are indulging too much. So just have some sense about it as well. It's not worth it to put yourself or other people in a position that could cause you or someone else harm as well for something like this. And just enjoy yourself. Technical difficulties.
That's all right.
We're still here.
We're still here. That's
if you're listening to this, we've had some technical difficulties, but we're still rolling.
Yeah,
despite
the wide angle lens fell off, but it can be put back on.
We're all good.
Yeah.
So
do you have any family traditions that you all do as far as meals and getting together? Is there a lot of eating around the holidays? Or is it...
for us, we do, our big protein is lamb.
Interesting.
From South Africa, so like Jimmy was saying. So
I met a lamb farmer recently in Waxhaw. I'll tell you about her a little bit later.
Yeah, so we do lamb. Obviously we still do some of the traditional proteins as well, like turkey and other things, but that's kind of our central protein, and then of course we got the potatoes and everything else. What about you guys? What are you doing?
So we get together for a few different things. We do Christmas Eve. We host at my house for dinner, and then Christmas Day we go to a dinner at my wife's aunt and uncle's. And my parents moved here, earlier this year. So this is the first year that they've lived here locally and quite a while. So we're doing Christmas breakfast at their home. So that's
nice.
That's like three big meals right there. But what we've been doing for several years is my wife will make a big lasagna. So just a big heavy,
That's so funny you say that. So Jenica doesn't want the pressure of a big Christmas dinner. So every Christmas we do a Christmas lasagna.
So we're actually not doing the lasagna this year
this year? Okay,
because we were talking about we eat so heavy, and Christmas dinner at my wife's aunt and uncle's, they always make this lemon fettuccine, and it's either crab cakes or these like veal or chicken cutlets. It's so good, but it's so much food, and so we're gonna do more like antipasto. We're gonna have have some charcuterie. We'll have the shrimp, ring. We'll do stuff like that. Yeah. So we'll have enough food that there'll be plenty of food to eat. Nobody's leaving hungry. But instead of having that heavy carb meal, and then the next day we're going to my parents and having a big breakfast, and then later on. So we're trying to not front load too much, especially the carbs.
Work some cardio in, right? So walks are do a mind and a body good.
Yeah.
So walking. I've been really partial to rowing. So you got a row machine.
You got a row machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a bike not too long ago. We do Beachbody. Yeah. We have the Beachbody subscription, Beachbody on demand. So they have all kinds of rides on there. Whether it's you can do the ride with the coach, and you're up and you're down and you're push and you're pull, and they also have I really enjoy doing the scenic rides on there.
Those are fun.
Yeah, just hop on there. You go.
Yeah,
20, 30, 40 minutes, and you can just kind of get in a zone, and you can push yourself at your own pace.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Absolutely. Rowing for me, I had to take a bit of a break. This time of year, speaking of self-care, take care of your bodies. So much stuff is going around right now, congestion and things. So for me, I had to take a break because of that. One thing to be careful of as well, and this is something that I've learned even just this year, talk about getting older, is any kind of like food sensitivities, right? Like there's a huge influx of sugar in Christmas food, cuisine, you name it. Dairy, be on the lookout for dairy. We all love our different Christmas meals, but be careful of any type of dairy that cause issues for you. And so for me, even with all the like flus and bugs going around, I'd take a break from it, from rowing for a bit. But hopefully I'll be back up in the rowing machine here soon. Yeah,
I have an acronym that I use, and have you ever read Hal Elrod's Morning Miracle?
No.
So he has an acronym called SAVERS. It's a great book. SAVERS, SAVERS, and it stands for sit, affirmations, visualization, exercise, read, and scribe, which means write or journal. But savers sounded better than save words, I guess.
Save word.
So anyway, savers. And I've condensed that down into EMJ. And if I EMJ every day, EMJ
told me about this.
Yeah, if I EMJ every day, I notice it. Like I feel significantly better. And the E is for exercise, M is for meditating, which is the sitting part.
Yeah.
And the J is journaling. And also like to read. I've got a devotional that I keep in the gym, or wellness room I call it, and it's like I read like one page and kind of reflect on that journal, and then that gets
what I think is
going.
That's so powerful, because you know what, I actually deleted my like social media off of my phone. And
I just took Facebook off.
Yeah, I took of Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. It's still something that we use for work to stay connected with people. Yeah. But for me, these reels, these very short clips, I just feel like it's hardwiring our brains in like a more toxic way. It's even compressing our shortened attention spans even more, right? And so for me, I cut all that down, and I started reading some classics, like old classic books, and so I've got like Sherlock Holmes, Anne of Green Gables, these different books. I'm like, I'm just gonna start trying to like refresh my brain. So that's my plan. That's what I'm getting back into as well this holiday season. You know what? You do sound like an old man. That's right.
But I like it.
There you go. It takes one to know one, right?
Yeah, it does. And at least you still have your hair. But yeah, so I took Facebook off as well. Yeah. But I noticed the same thing. I still have Instagram on here. I'll pick up my phone and I'll scroll. The other thing I took off, and I'm an Android user, I had a little Google search bar, and I took that off because I would hit that and see what the news is. The only thing is, if I swipe left, it all pops up right there. Yeah. So. Doom. I think they call it doom scrolling.
Doom scrolling. Right? Look it up if you're not familiar. It's a real thing.
Well, I think I'm gonna take Instagram off and see, how am I gonna make a reel? Is the world gonna end if I don't make reels?
Oh gosh, that's the tough part. You got to think about it from our standpoint. Like if you're in real estate, this is a great way to stay connected with people. Yeah. And so for me, I just have a rule. Like if I'm in the office, I'll be able to utilize it. Yeah. But when I'm leaving the office, it leaves my phone.
That's a good idea.
I don't need it on my phone anymore.
Yeah, I agree. And I really enjoy creating is content like this. Yeah. So longer form content, video, audio, podcast, YouTube, something that you can consume, while you're in the car. Obviously we have it's on the radio, it's on podcast, it's on video, and you can. I mean, if you want, you could sit down and watch us. From your couch, like a regular TV show, or you could get in the car and just press play and listen to it like a podcast. We try to keep it around that 30-minute time frame. So well, cool, Michael. Hey, I enjoyed this one again. So thanks everybody for coming back, and make sure you join us next week. We're going to be talking financial goals and New Year's financial resolutions.
Can you believe it? 2023, here we come.
Wow, the Michael Jordan year.
Oh, it is.
23, I mean, yeah.
Wow.
The MJ year. All right, everyone, thanks so much for watching. If you have any real estate or mortgage-related questions, certainly reach out to us. Jimmy Grappone here with J Park Carolina Living Real Estate. We got Michael Curtis, Movement Bank, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.
See ya.
Peace out.
Cool.
We just work right through those technical...